体感をお願い申し上げます。繰り返しご案内申し上げます。
So let's go to one of the, I would say, highlights of the Japan trip, but also highlights of my life. So this is Shibuya Sky. Now, mind you, when I was researching all of this and my mom was helping me research all of this, they made it seem like it was very easy to find and get to, but definitely give yourself, I would say, a solid 40 minutes to get to this destination to actually find it. It might be a little bit different now because then they were having a lot of construction. So there was like a lot of different detours and things that we had to take. But to be honest, y'all, it was so worth all of the trek that it took to get there. This was also one of the things it was most difficult to get tickets for, especially for the time frame we wanted. Mind you, I'm also glad that we literally had to like set alarms and everything to get the sunset time, and the site was like skipping and things like that. But to be honest, it was all worth it. Like, this was like getting Beyonce tickets, y'all. I'm telling you. The time that we selected was like the sunset time. I think it was around in between 5 and 6. So once you get there, you know, you can stay. They have a lot of like sightseeing and things you can do, because the grand part is when you can get, well, you know, I'll tell you guys like what the really grand part is, because to be honest, like, even though the sun wasn't out, that was a little bit disappointing. That is one thing about having an August birthday and taking international trips. For one, when I used to be young, it always used to be school starting. That kind of, my birthday just didn't feel that exciting, or like, you know, it was a little bit depressing because everybody throughout the year had already celebrated their birthdays and now we're getting ready for school. And it's just like, it low-key started to feel like everybody was partied out. I don't know if y'all are like on Threads or like y'all see like some of the trending things when Leo birthdays come up, but like it's sometimes like where Leos kind of just feel depressed, and I low-key like feel like that's where it came from, because our birthdays are at the end of the year after we've already done everything to celebrate everybody else. But when you get older, you know, and you start to like really experience life, you just start to, well, me personally, I started to romanticize the smaller things, which made me feel like, you know, less depressed when my birthday came up. So when I got to Japan, this day we were actually supposed to do the Mario Kart, and we couldn't do it because the rain was so bad. So that's where you see like the gloominess like in the sky and stuff like that. But I just started to, you know, you gotta choose happiness. Like, you gotta choose the joy in things. And when I was going up there, just seeing the sky, just seeing like, you know, the craftsmanship that they put into this thing they call Shibuya Sky, like it was just like so beautiful. And I'm like, you know, I'm so blessed. Like, it really doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if I'm at home, New York and Rochester. It doesn't matter if I'm in Houston. It doesn't matter if I'm in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that I was able to have a birthday, be alive, like, you know, that's really what you got to take your birthday as. And that goes for everybody, but that really specifically goes for my Leo people, because I know sometimes like at this time of the year it can get a little bit, you know, I don't know, we've done everything for everybody else throughout the year, celebrated everything for everybody else, and sometimes we just don't feel the same love in return. But that doesn't matter. The same love you give to people, give that to yourself, and I promise you, as the days pass, as the years pass, you literally will just start to just feel like, you know, wow, like I'm so blessed. Like, it doesn't even matter what's coming from others. Like, you know, you have to just give to yourself what you give to other people. And just, I mean, look at how beautiful this is. Like, all of the craftsmanship they put into like the flowers and like the ambiance. I mean, it just was very peaceful, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I guess the content would have been better if the sun was out, you know, I came out in my yellow, I came out in bright colors, like, you know, came out in good spirits, and really just took advantage of the entire experience. No matter if excursions before this had got canceled, like I was down on myself thinking like maybe I shouldn't even go, you know, to the Shibuya Sky. My mom's like, no girl, like we have to go, like we have to experience this, like. And I'm like, I'm so glad that we ended up going, because just look at how beautiful this is, you know what I'm saying? Look at me running into the damn flower. But like, even though it wasn't necessarily bright outside, the ambiance inside of the place, like it just really elevated my spirits. Like, and that is one thing about Japan, y'all. Like the vibes and the energy is so good that it's like you can probably land in the country not feeling that you're best, and then as soon as you step off the plane, just like the peacefulness and like the love and the energy from everybody else around you will just really consume you and just like, have you feeling like you're literally on cloud nine. And that is why I feel like Shibuya Sky is something that everybody has to do at least once in their life. It just look at the grandeur, you know what I'm saying? Like even like the sky, even though it's not necessarily bright, it's still so beautiful. Like the fact that this is a real thing, the fact that the sky is like endless, the same feeling that I get like when I'm looking out at the ocean is the same feeling I got when I was up here in Shibuya, just looking at everything. Now, the drinks and the food was literally like I would say a 2 out of 10. This was probably like the least good meal that we had, but it didn't matter because we weren't there for the food, we were there for the views. So as you guys can see, the quote unquote sun that's not really there is going down, but now the world or Japan is about to light itself up. And that was one thing that we knew that we wanted. This was the sunset time. So it was just like, even though the sun wasn't necessarily setting, when it was getting darker, it still kind of felt like that because the lights started to come on like underneath us. So don't get me wrong too, girly behind us, like she was killing it. This girl was like super tea. That is one thing you saw in Japan too, like how much people like take advantage of the things that are around them, like the content that they're getting, like how much they put into it. Like I had people were up here like had lighting and everything. So mind you, one thing to keep in mind is don't wear any hats, because I had a hat on and it low-key kind of discolored my makeup where it was at. And if you guys can hear over me chatting and this voiceover, we were talking about another lady that we had seen, like she had a hat on and that she must have put it in her pocket, because of that open area where we were walking up right before this, they do have lockers and things like for your umbrellas, because they really care about like the cleanliness of their place. They don't want anything falling off the sky or like falling off the building or the wind blowing anything away. So they are very, very serious about those rules. And just look at how beautiful this is. Like this is actually a helipad that we're on, which I thought was like, I don't know, so major. Like you see helipads and stuff like from the bottom of like the world, and you don't necessarily get how big they are, but they're very, very huge. And a lot of people are just like, just looking and gasping and just like loving the scenery. And as you guys can see, like more and more lights are coming on as it's getting darker. They have a lot of different sections that you can participate in or see the views from. So if you're a person who's like severely scared of heights, you don't have to go into certain places. But to be honest, even if you're scared of heights, I will suggest you still do this, because it also helps you conquer a bit of that, especially depending on how many hours you're in the inside of the building before your time comes to go up on the rooftop. Those are what the time slots are selected as. So it was so rainy and things like that, because like I was saying, during the season when I leave to go places internationally during my birthday, it usually is storm season. So some of those things you have to expect. So when it comes to whatever hairstyles you're getting or whatever accessories that you're going to be getting, make sure that you take all of that into consideration. But also, even if things don't necessarily go your way, if you get rained out, if an excursion gets canceled, you know what I'm saying, just figure out other things that you can do to still enjoy your time. Because just look at the beauty of this, y'all. Had I decided to not go, or had we decided to leave early because we didn't see the sun, we would have never been able to see Japan from this angle. We'd have never been able to just bask in the greatness of what this really is, and being at Shibuya Sky. So rain or shine, you guys, make sure that you still follow through with your plans. Make sure that and if you can't follow through based off of safety or whatever the case may be, because that's what happened with our Mario Kart excursion, make sure that you still take full advantage of the things that you are able to still do. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be something else. The days are going to keep going and keep on continuing. So just make sure that you take advantage of every single second. I'm getting ready to turn 30, and I just felt it was so important to really go back into my content of things that I've done in life, just because I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful. Even though I have new things coming, just to think about the things that I was able to do in my life, it just makes me feel so blessed. And in doubt, in Japan, get the egg sandwich.